everybody, welcome to Homeopathy Refined. Today we are going to start another segment, of homeopathy, which is organon, and it is very important philosophy part of organon. Today we are going to discuss the miasms part of it. We are starting Psora. So as you can see, it's completely blue because Psora as a miasm is indicated or determined with the color blue, which is the functional disorders. And it is very common, everybody know what Psora is. Homeopathy students, it is known as functional deficit or the irritability which is present on the mental level and physical level. But let us discuss in a different way what Psora is. Right, the firstly we've discussed, we've seen there is money, there's anxiety for health, anxiety for poverty. Now as you can see, the three remedies here, the sorinum, calcarea, sulfur. Now these are the drugs which have this anxiety, apprehension, and they are very like sorinum. You also find that he thinks he's poor, so that is something like there is anxiety about poverty, about health. Calcarea, they're very worried about their health, and the same goes with sulfur. So that is one characteristic thing of a Psora. Now not enough, as you can see, a glass which is half filled and half empty. So always there is some there's something lack in this person, or I am not enough. That is a feeling they have. So not enoughness is the theme, right? So again, it is not enough food, they're always hungry, not enough capabilities, inferiorities. These all are build up of Psoras. Now coming to existence crisis, existential issues are present, and you know what, it is just the insecurities. It's just what happens, why am I here, what am I doing? So these are the background thoughts of Psora. Now coming to the next one, which is abandoned or forsaken feeling. The abandoned and forsaken feeling, somewhere they are feeling they are different path, they're away from the dimensions, or they're not near to the comfort zone, they are away. So the ailments start away from the home, where they went to a new place to get adjusted there, and everything, the psoric challenges, that is where it starts. So it's always they are very puzzled in appearance, and they're very confused, right? And coming to the pathology, how the mental state progresses in Psora, there is immediate survival threat. That means suddenly you move from your village to a city, so that is a survival threat, right? You immediately move to somewhere very new, so that is a survival threat. And immediate trigger of flight or fight response, so that is a very common one, where they try to get these heart rate, increase heart rate, sweating. So these are the things which happens in them, and suddenly the blood supply increases, it gets redirected. So they have this existential effects, feelings, where am I going, what am I doing? So when this happens acutely, it is okay, it's palpitations and heart rate. But when that is chronic stimulation, it is fatiguing, right? Again, there is a constant survival threat. So that's where there is psoric imbalance happening. So that is very, very common. Again, I gave an example of when you move on to a modern city from your village, you're just in a burnout state right now, because you are in a different place, you're trying to fight for your survival, you're trying to balance things. So that is a burnout state. Now coming to the physical things, how you can identify, or it's very common, like not to identify, it's just a theme. So the common theme is just anti-psoric, they have temperature affections. They have issues with temperature, whether it is sulfur or sorinum. Sulfur is hot, it's not the hottest one, the hottest one is iodine, but sulfur is so hot they have to put their feet out of the bed, only the feet. And sorinum is so chilly, they want to have a blanket, they wear sweaters, even in the extreme summers. So that is the temperature affections that is present in Psora. Again, it is main Psora, there is maladaptation to temperature, to climate. So again, this is a survival threat. Suddenly you're thrown away to experience something. So that is survival, right? They're trying to face it. So that happens with temperature as well, right? If it is sulfur, it is typically burning, boiling hot, or sorinum, they wear thick coat even in summer. So that is a difference here. Now coming to hunger, They have issues with appetite. They have issues with basic life instincts, right? It is the appetite, the hunger. So here you have sulfur, sorinum, the two most hungriest remedies. Also lyco, they're never enough. They always feel hungry. Now I ate something, I ate a little bit, my stomach is full, again I feel hungry afterwards. There is canine hunger, there is ravenous hunger, which is present in, Psora. But again, there is this harmony which is lost. See, when you feel hungry, when you're actually hungry, is when the food is not present in the stomach. But they don't tend to understand that the food is still there in the stomach. The natural rhythm of hunger and the appetite is not balanced, right? So that happens with Psora. Now coming to metabolism, here you have fastest to slowest, and somewhere the metabolism is good but the body is unable to take the nutrition up. So you have in Silesia and Macarb, where you have unable to take the sufficient nutrition, and then you have mostly fast metabolic states like lyco, sulfur. These are fast metabolic states. They have ravenous hunger, canine hunger, right? And calcarea graphitis, they have low metabolic state. They tend to grow weight, and they just eat a little bit and then they gain weight. So that is how it is in metabolism. Also different kinds of metabolism is present, but one thing is that the elimination and the assimilation, the balance is lost in Psora. So they tend to be constipated and they tend to be they have more diarrhea, but mostly constipated, where the bowel movements are very slow. It's just not happening. It is there in lyco, in sulfur. So it's just the elimination issues are there. It's a balance between what is present, what should be there, what is coming out is not there. So that is what body will try to recruit. If it is not eliminating as stool, it will try to recruit in the skin. So that's where you find offensive sweat, Psora, sour sweat, offensive sweat. So sorinum is having offensive sweat, right? Again, there's a little bit of putrefaction. Now you may think putrefaction is something, that is all, it is syphilitic and everything, but there is offensiveness, poor elimination. Again, this is all because of the inner toxicity, right? So that is present. Great unwashed is sulfur, and unwashable, even though you wash it, the smell doesn't go, is sorinum. So I like to conclude this here.